Welcome to a brand new edition of You Talk. I'm your host, Paige Turner, school counselor at Noble Middle School. Our show is all about the middle school student. We leave no stone unturned: testing, bullying, dating, stress, and so much more. Joining me each month is a seasoned panel of middle school students ready to discuss the issues and tackle the tough questions. This month, in addition to your questions, we have a special guest from the top of the world to share with us the reason for the season. Plus, we've got New Year's resolutions. But first, we kick off our show with some Q&A, featuring questions on a variety of topics from middle schools throughout the school system that our panel of students are ready to answer. No question is too tough, no topic is too difficult. Okay, panelists, here is our first question. I have two friends who I want to invite to my birthday party. They fight all the time, but both of them are my friends. What should I do? Have you guys ever been in that situation before?
Yeah, when I was in 5th grade, I had two friends, but they kind of didn't like each other and they would always fight. But they were both really good friends and we'd been friends since kindergarten. So I just invited them, and then you can try to become like that person that makes them become better friends through you. Because they have to realize that they can't be friends with somebody who is friends with someone they don't like. And they have to all get along.
Anybody else? What do you think?
I know someone this summer who they had their birthday party and they had one friend who is kind of in this situation, and it kind of ruined her party. But so the next year, this year, they decided not to invite her. I don't know how it turned out, but I think they were happy, but I don't know how the other person would feel.
And you brought a good point, because you know it really could ruin a birthday party if you have people arguing and fighting the whole time. You know,
I would pull them like aside and say, "Hey, I would love for you guys to come to my birthday party, but if you guys can't get along, you're not going to be invited because I'm not going to ruin my birthday party because you two."
Right. Or ask them to leave. You hate to do that in the middle of the party, but that's just, you know, it's disrespectful and it's not, you know, fun for the birthday person.
Or you could just try to like invite them at different times and hang out with them and do stuff like they like to do, because it could be like what they like, even though you're choosing what to do, they might want to do something else and then they're gonna fight over it, and then the whole time it's just gonna be them fighting.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So I think you had some good suggestions, and just kind of have to see how that goes. Definitely. All right, here comes the next one. I feel as though I don't fit in. My friends do one sport, but I do a different one. Our schedules don't overlap, so I don't get together with them as often as I used to. I never get any of their inside jokes, and I feel left out. What should I do?
You could always try to stop doing something that you don't need to do. Like if you're doing a sport and it's not that long and it's not important, like practice, if it's not needed, you can always try to hang out with your other friends, or always text or hang out in between times. And even if they have inside jokes with other people, you can try to learn them, or you can just go back to your inside jokes too.
Or you could like find something you guys both like, and you guys could make inside jokes with that, or hang out with them by doing that activity.
Yeah, but you don't want to be like too attached to them, and you don't want to be that one friend that's following them everywhere, just like, hey, how's it going, all constantly. You have to be actual friends with them and get what they're saying. And saying that you don't fit in isn't right, because everybody fits in, because life's like a puzzle, and without one puzzle piece, the puzzle isn't finished. So.
And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, do you feel like if you spend time with friends, some of your friends, the more you spend time with them, you know, the closer you guys are, or if you're in the same classes. I see this a lot sometimes in middle school, where, you know, you were with friends one year, you guys were all in the same classes, and then the next year, you know, maybe some of your friends were together in a class and you're not. And that's kind of the same type situation, you know, they see each other a lot, so they talk more. And so they may have talked about things that you don't know much about because you just don't see them as often. You know, have y'all had that experience where you've not been in the same classes as some of your close friends? Yeah. I think that's probably a similar situation.
I mean, I've been not in the same class as some of my friends, but then you make new friends with them, with new people, and then you have a larger friend group, and if one person can't hang out, you can go to another friend because you've grown a closer relationship. So.
Yeah. And I think what you guys said in terms of making new friends, I mean, she says she does a different sport, so maybe, you know, get really close to some of the kids that are playing that sport and, you know, do what you can to hang out with your other friends. And if they have some inside jokes, just know that they may have some things that you don't really know about, you know.
And you could always, if you don't have them in your class, you could always try to find new people and learn like their ways and how they, and make sure they're not bad influences, and to try to get used to the ways they are, so that way you can fit in with more people.
Right. And friendships change, you know. You may be best friends and really close to somebody, and then, you know, just by nature of, you know, who you're in classes with or who you do extracurricular activities with, your group of friends could change over the years, you know. So, all right, let's move to a different one. So my mom wants to track my phone, but I feel like it's a violation of my privacy. My mom has no reason not to trust me, and I understand that if I ever lost my phone, the app could help her find it. But I don't like the idea of my mom knowing my every move. She has threatened to take my phone and computer away if I don't sign up, but I feel like I have a right to privacy. I'm a good kid, I get good grades, and I don't hang around anyone bad. How can I get my point across to my mom?
Well, that happens to me a lot, but what I do is I just say, okay, Mom, since I don't have anything to hide, I just let her take it, because she realizes that I'm not doing anything bad. So she just says, okay, it's okay, and then she gives it back. So, because I know how she is, so
She'll find a way to see it or to...
Yeah, so I just go along with it and hope,
Yeah, and if you disagree with her, she's probably going to think that there is something bad on your phone that she should be looking at, and she's going to want you to sign up even more. But if you're like, okay, here, just take it, and you can look at it, then she's going to know that you can trust her and she can trust you, and that you guys can get along, and you don't have to get tracked.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the, well, I'm paying for your phone, so I have the right to look at it? Or, I mean, do you guys feel like that you should have privacy over things like that sometimes?
You have a right to your privacy, and I mean, it depends what she's using it for. Like, if she just wants to know that you're safe, that's one thing. I mean, if she's tracking you and gonna be like stalking you, that's another thing. But I mean, I'm sure that she has the right intentions behind it, so you really shouldn't have to worry about it. And if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried.
Right.
I think you should talk to your parents and ask, when are you going to use the app? Because if they are like tracking your every move, it's not exactly fair to you. But if they want to know that you're safe, I'm sure there's other things that they can do or use to see that.
Do your parents check your phones? No. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay. And I know one of the suggestions that we always give parents, especially of middle schoolers, is we want parents to check phones. You know, they may trust you and you may be doing the right thing, but there are plenty of people out there, people that you may be following or friends with on social media that are not doing the right things. And so, you know, I think sometimes it's really hard to you know, for kids to see that that all that stuff is out there, you know. And I think parents really should. So for this student, you know, I don't know if they should necessarily try to get their point across to their mom. The mom probably understands the need for privacy, but when you weigh that against all the dangers and things that can happen on the computer and phones and social media, internet, things like that, I think privacy is kind of comes second to the safety for sure. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much. I think you guys gave some really good advice. That wraps up You Talk Q&A. If you're a middle school student with a question you'd like our panel to discuss, there are several ways to submit your question. First, you can drop the question off to your school counselor or social worker. 2, you can email it to nhcstv@ec.rr.com. Or 3, use good old-fashioned mail by sending your question to NHCTV You Talk, 1802 South 15th Street, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28401. Now, coming up in our next segment, Henry is joined by our special guest in red. He is the ambassador of the holiday season, and he'll share some great suggestions for making a meaningful holiday.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to You Talk. Now that you've perfected low-fat holiday cookies, you've hit the outlets already for preseason shopping, and you've decked the halls, hung the mistletoe, lit the menorah, and trimmed the tree. But what have you done to celebrate the true spirit of the holidays? Joining Henry right now is the Big Red Elf to share simple ways for all of us to create a deeper connection with the season. Henry?
Thank you, Ms. Turner. Today I'm sitting down with Santa Claus. Santa Claus, also known as St. Nicholas, Father Christmas, Kris Kringle, and simply Santa, is a figure with legendary, historical, and folklore origins, who is said to bring gifts to the homes of the good children on December 24th. But he has also become one of the most important symbols of the holiday season. Welcome, Santa.
Well, Henry, good to see you.
It's
great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
So how are things at the North Pole?
Well, Henry, you know, it's really, really busy this time of year. We got a lot going on. The elves are working hard to get all the toys ready for this year's Christmas. Mrs. Claus is getting ready. She's getting me all the secret ingredients I need to know as I travel across the world. And it's just going to be exciting, but it's a busy, busy place, and believe it or not, it's really, really cold there.
I believe you. Can you give us some ways to make the holidays more meaningful?
Well, Henry, there's a lot of ways to do that. For Santa, it's about making somebody smile. And for all the things that we can do for children across the world. But here in Wilmington, there's lots of ways that you can make it better. For instance, is there somebody that this year you really had a problem with and you didn't get along? Now is the time during the holiday season to say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and make up with them and be friends again. And gosh, there's so many other ways you can help your grandmother or your grandfather do something special. Help your little sister do something. Help her clean her room. You can do things in the community. There's so many ways that you can help out in the community and help people. And so what I say is to give someone something, whether it's just your friendship or to make up or to do something for them. And that's a way that you can have a special holiday this year.
Great. What can you tell us about the reindeer? How are they doing?
The reindeer are doing well. It's been a busy year for the reindeer. We've been doing a lot of training. We've got a couple new reindeer in the back of the pack that are going to be coming in this year. Of course, we got Rudolph and all the regular guys going, but they've been working out. They've been doing all their training and getting ready for this year, and it's just about, it's getting close.
I mean, that can be exhausting.
Oh, it is. It's exhausting, and they have, it's hard work to be a reindeer. It really is. And then on that special night, we got to have Rudolph, of course, to kind of lead the way, and so we've been working on his nose to make sure it's good and shiny. We can see. Hopefully, it'll be a clear night when we do our work, and so we're excited about it. But the reindeer are doing great. We look forward to being here.
That's great. What are some simple ways to enjoy the holidays with family?
Well, you just got to take time to be with family. It's all about family at the holidays, and so when you can have a moment to sit down and eat together and have fellowship, that's important. And of course, it's a busy day too, because we try to see Grandmom and Grandpop. We try to see all of our cousins and our uncles and aunts, and we want to see our friends too on Christmas Day. So it's a busy day for everybody. But take a moment and think about all those special things. Santa's got a little problem with his beard there, but you take a moment, just a special time to talk to people. You know, we get so busy during the year, we're watching TV and we're listening to radio and we're doing all these other things, but take time just to sit and talk. We're on the computer all the time, but do it in person. And this is a time of year that you can have a good time and smile and think about all the special times over the years. So do that.
I definitely agree. Can you suggest some local things we can do to help out this holiday season?
Well, there's a lot of local things you can do here in Wilmington. You can help with Toys for Tots, the Salvation Army. You can get an angel for the angel tree. Support boys and girls homes down in Lake Waccamaw. Those children need your help in providing them with toys and things. And so I would suggest, finding something that you're passionate about, helping, the homeless, working for one of the organizations that helps to build homes for the folks that don't have a place to stay. So do something in your community that's important, that has impact, and that helps someone. And, we all know somebody that might need just a smile. Make them laugh. Just something simple like that.
Yes, I definitely agree. Finally, what's your secret for getting up and down the chimneys? This is a highly requested question.
Oh, that's kind of a secret. It's all about your waistline. It's all about your waistline, and Santa's been working on his waistline. And there's a way that you have to kind of tilt your head as you get into the chimney, and then it's just about the slide.
It's a real technique.
Yeah, it's a technique. It's something that I've worked on for many, many years, and not everybody can do it. And so Santa's gifted that he could get in there, make the squeeze, turn that certain way, make that smile, hit his cheek, and then you're down.
That's great. I would like to thank my guest, Santa Claus, for talking with us today about making this season more meaningful. For U Talk, I'm Henry Fox. Now back to our panel.
Thank you, Henry. All right, guys, what do you think about Santa's visit?
That was quite exciting.
Yeah.
He was such a nice guy. He was so jolly, happy.
Yes, that was definitely a surprise. So he talked about some different ways that we can have a really meaningful Christmas. I think a lot of times people get wrapped up in shopping and the materialistic part of Christmas. What are some things that you guys do with your families, traditions, or things that you do to help others during the holiday season?
Sometimes our whole family, like my mom and my dad, my brother and sister, we all go on a beach walk, and even if it's really cold out, we do it because it's really fun, and it's just a fun thing to do on Christmas. And then we also stay up really late on Christmas Eve, and then we just look at our presents, but we don't open them until our dad gets to our house.
So spending quality time with your family.
Well, now that my sister lives quite a bit of miles away, we try to get together. We're trying to get together this year to hang out as a family, and we're gonna go over there with her this Christmas because we usually stay at home as together.
So you're going to travel some this so that you can all be together. Yeah, that'll be great. What about you guys, Peyton and Emily?
Well, my family, we go up to where my grandparents live, which is complicated now because both my grandparents live in different locations now. So we kind of have two Christmases. One we'll have before, and we'll bring part of the family together. And then we travel, and then we wake up everyone with classical music really loudly to get them up, and then we just open presents and bake cookies.
Very cool.
I mean, we normally celebrate it at either my grandma's, our house, or my aunt's house, and we'll normally travel up there on either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and then celebrate it as a family with everyone together.
What about doing for others? I mean, do you guys feel like that that Christmas has gotten to be very materialistic, and it's a lot about the gifts and the buying and the even in terms of the decorating? I feel like there seems to be who can have the best decorations, and do you agree that it's gotten a tad bit out of hand and there's not as much focus on the real reason? And
I mean, there are TV shows like the most extravagant Christmas lights and stuff where people start decorating their house in July.
Months in advance.
I mean, that's a little out of hand because they get decorating crews and stuff to come, and then they'll do shows. And I mean, some of them raise money for people, for different foundations and for their churches, which is good. And so, I mean, if you're doing it for that reason, I think it's good. But I mean, I think it's gotten to the point where it's who can give the best gifts, who can give the most.
Some of the ideas that Santa gave were, adopt a Christmas angel, and getting some gifts for others that may be less fortunate. I know our school has the holiday acts of kindness where you can donate gifts. Our family actually does the Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes that are sent all over the world. There are lots of local opportunities and some that are more global as well. Is that something that you guys are hoping to be able to get involved in this year?
My family, we always do the Adopt an Angel at the mall, and it's fun to do. So half my family can go shop for them, and the other family can shop for the people who are shopping for the angel. So it's a good way to get Christmas shopping in and then also do a good deed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With all our old clothes that we have at my house that don't fit us anymore, and like old shoes, we bring them to like Once Upon a Child, and we give them to them just like so that children that need the clothes can get them.
And you know, that's a really good point. I think at the end of the year, there's a lot of, you know, just kind of cleaning out closets and getting ready for the new year, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But you know, definitely going through your closets or even old toys and gadgets and things that you have, and you know, donating to Goodwill, Salvation Army, you know, organizations like that for sure.
Our family has done like the Adopt an Angel before and the shoebox. I mean, we don't do it like every year, but we do it like some years. And
Yeah.
My little sister at her school, they try to collect books and send it to like India. So we help my little sister like go through the whole house and look for books we haven't read in a while to donate them.
Yeah. It's just a good time to keep that stuff in mind. I know that there are opportunities throughout the year, but you know, especially this time of year when there are those that are less fortunate, it really is a good time to, you know, to go through, and if there are things that we don't need or use anymore, to be able to give back to others for sure. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't go away. Coming up next, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
When you open a book, you can explore new lands, meet new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. You can log onto the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to U-Talk. A New Year's resolution is one of the most popular traditions in the world. It can be an act of self-improvement or something slightly nice, such as opening doors for people beginning from New Year's Day. So guys, have you started thinking about your New Year's resolutions yet?
Yeah, I want to get like a little more active and cut down on the electronics. Because I feel like that's something that I need to do. And I know everyone's just like, oh, that's the New Year's resolution that everybody does every year. But I honestly do want to try and get a little more active this year.
At school, I like try out for almost every activity. I sign up for a lot of them. So what I'm going to try to do is cut down on some and try to get more involved on like 2 or 3 instead of getting a little involved on like 5 or 6.
So maybe having more quality opportunities at school instead of the quantity, doing as much as you can. That's a good one. Well, that's two of you.
I want to start volunteering at a place because I do want to apply to Isaac Bear, and I think that would look really good on an application. I also want to get more organized and stop procrastinating as much.
What are your thoughts, Emily?
I definitely would like to volunteer more in the community, and then I think cutting back on electronics is good. And I mean, just make sure to work hard for all my
classes and everything that you're doing. Well, you know, and we talk about these New Year's resolutions. You said, Lily, that, you know, people tend to have the same ones year after year, and, you know, give it a couple of weeks, give it a couple of months, and people just kind of forget about it and get back to what they were doing. What is something that you feel like you can do different this year so that you can maybe stick with what you're wanting to change? Yes.
Maybe like set an alarm like that goes off every day. And I know that sounds like weird, but like just set an alarm so that you can see it every day, or set it as like your phone wallpaper. Because even if you're like cutting back on electronics, you're still going to use them. and sometimes you might use them, you're still going to use them. And so it's, if you have something that you see daily that just reminds you of it, it'll help you.
Absolutely. Well, and I know that in some of our classes at Noble, we've talked about goal setting, and you think about it, New Year's resolutions is pretty much goal setting, you know, and some of the things we talked about is in order for you to help you meet your goals, you know, making your goals very specific, you know, so instead of, you know, I want to exercise more, you know, that's pretty broad, you know, it could be I would like to exercise, you know, 20 minutes every day or 30 minutes 3 times a week, and then actually like track, you know, your progress and your data. That's something that, you know, can maybe help keep you accountable for doing that.
What I think people do for their resolution is they overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a day. Like if they really want to do it, they need to start instead of saying I'll start in a week and then after that week goes by I'll start in a month. They should just try to do what they want to do.
Yeah. Well, and I think you kind of hit on it. I think a lot of it with your goals and your resolutions is it starts up here. You have to be in the right mindset to do it, you know? So, you know, like Emily was saying, set a timer or have something that just kind of, you know, shows you what that resolution is frequently so it helps remind you and keeps you on track.
I think part of the problem is that people will set the same goals even if they don't like really believe that that's something that they need to do. And if they don't believe that it's something that needs to change in their life, they're not going to do it. So like Lily said, everyone chooses like exercise. So everyone's going to choose exercise, but they don't really want to do that more. They want to focus on something else. So they choose exercise, but they don't actually want to do it, so they just stop.
I think you're talking about making your resolutions or your goals relevant to your life and what's something that you really, really want to accomplish. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the goals should be realistic. Like you can't like say you want to star in a movie when you're too young or you're not qualified. You have to think what you actually want to do and when you can do it and make sure that it's possible.
Make sure it's realistic, make sure it's attainable. We've heard that before. Make sure it's something you can actually do. That's a really great point. So just some tips on how to accomplish your New Year's resolutions. It sounds like you guys all have some really good ones. Good luck with keeping them. I know that you know, it's hard. I have a hard time with it too. I think we all do, no matter how old you are. So absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. We hope you have enjoyed this edition of UTalk. If you missed any part of this program, then check us out online at www.nhcs.net and click on the video library link found on the school system's webpage. I'm Paige Turner. On behalf of the entire UTalk panel, thanks for watching. We hope you'll submit questions to our show and tune in again next month for an all-new episode of UTalk.